Hi, and welcome to How to Make an SCP Server Updated Edition. What you want to do first, we're going to go ahead and get right into this anyways. What you want to do first is open up your Steam. Make sure you have SCP Secret Laboratory installed and SCP Secret Laboratory dedicated server installed. This will also pop up right here once you have Secret Laboratory installed, the server mod thing. You don't need to have that downloaded in order for your server to work. This is just in case if you want to add modifications to your server, add extra roles besides admin, moderator, and junior moderator. You know things like that. If you just want to add more roles or something like that. Just anything in general. Okay. So make sure you have those two things installed. Just keep that minimized. Then you want to download Mono. Mono is a it's kind of hard to describe, but it's going to make your SCP server run very smoothly and everything, so we're going to go ahead and download that. I'm pretty sure you could just put it in here, just put it into your hotbar, or whatever it's called, continue to external site, and download the latest version of Mono, whatever you can do, 30-bit or 64-bit. Yep, for Windows, Mac OS, it has different things for whatever you use. I'm on Windows right now, so I downloaded this for it. So once you have that installed, you just gotta make sure it's there. Then you want to download SteamCMD. This is gonna help run your server, just make it work and everything. Okay. So then we're gonna go to the hotbar, just do the same thing. All these links will be in the link in the description. Yep. So then, once you put this thing in, just copy and paste and everything, the SteamCMD will pop up. Open it. Let's open it.
Fast forward mode activate.
Just gotta wait for it to load. Oh. It's almost done. There it is. So once it says this first Steam thing, once this is all installed and everything, once it says this first Steam thing, you want to type in login anonymous and press enter, just like that. It's gonna pop up another one of these Steam things after it's done doing all this. Waiting for user info. Then you want to type in, once it says Steam again, you want to type in force underscore, which is this little weird line thing, install underscore dir. What this is going to be doing is, forcefully, putting what you're going to install the server in on a specific folder. So, say if I wanted it in this folder to keep it nice and compact, this is going to be the directory. So I have mine. I named mine new. Right here. So once you have your folder, you just make a new one here. I'll make a new one just for you guys. Let's make a new folder, call it whatever we want, like SCP SL server. Let's name it that. Open it up, and then you want to, whenever it says this, you just want to click on this this little bar thing. Just click it, and it's going to be this blue text. You want to copy this. Just copy it. Here, I'll copy this one because it's the one that I'm using. So then you want to do space and then put whatever you copied. And then press enter. Then it's going to say this again. Then it's going to say Steam again. So then you want to type this in, app underscore update 996560 validate. Well, so you don't want to put validate in until you want to update your server. what validating does and why it's important that you do this after is to make sure that all your needed files aren't corrupted or missing. So that's what validate does. So I'll go ahead and just type in validate since I already have my server. Just like that. Press enter. It'll have this process in. This will be your process, your little thing, your percentage, I guess. So it won't be right here or something. This is what you're going to be looking at. See how the number's going up. And then type in quit. It'll just get out of it like normal. I'll go ahead and delete that and delete this. No, wait, no. Okay, so then what you want to do right after that is open up where your, where your directory was. Like if it looks like this, why not? Your folder, why not? It should look like this now. Should look like this now. And you want to go to your local admin and type in your default port. Your default port, like it says here, port number, your default is 7777. If you haven't changed it, like I said in the last video, then just type in 7777. My port is 3589, so I'm going to type in 3589 because that's the port that I set it to. So then I press enter and I wait for it to load. Just gotta wait for it to load. It'll say all this, and it'll have a bunch of red text, saying some stuff. Once it says waiting for players, type in exit. It'll get out of it. Then what you want to do right after that is go to this little Windows hotbar thing. Type in run. It's gonna look like this. You want to open it, and you want to type in percentage app data percentage, just like right here, and press OK. It's going to pop up this file. You want to scroll down until it says SCP Secret Laboratory. It's going to be an S. It's going to go alphabetically if you have it set that way. You want to double click on it. Go to config. Go to your port. This will be named 7777 for your default if you haven't changed it. Like I said earlier, I changed it to 3589. So you double click on your port number. Then you go to config gameplay. This one. It's going to be the first one. It's going to end up in Notepad. Hopefully. You should have it on Notepad. And these are going to be the server main settings. This is how you customize your server. How you make it the way you want to. So let's go down this list. Server name. I named mine Let's Go 89 server. And then my Discord server. Then you go down to, this is going to be just the important stuff that you have to have. Then server info pastebin ID. This is important. This is going to be your server rules and everything. So I'll tell you how to make those right now. You go to your web browser. You type in paste. Then here, I'll have this say, hold up. I'll have this website in the link in the description. It's going to be this pastebin website. They make it to where you have to use this website. And it's going to pop up like this. You don't need to sign up. You don't need to sign up or log in or anything. So then you want to make your new paste. This is where you write all your rules and everything. So like number 1, don't litter, or something like that. So you just write your set of rules. Maybe like if you like having questions for the person that made the server or anything, maybe you should put like some contact info, like how to message you, like your email address or something, so that they can send you an email and ask you questions about your SCP server. Just your normal how should I say this? Just a way to contact you. So let's say number 1, don't being mean. And then it's going to be number 2, blah, 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 3. You get the gist. So that's what you would write here. Then you would go down. You want to set it. You want to set your set in highlighting to none. Your paste expiration never. You never want it to expire. Paste exposure is public. This will make it to where everybody can see it. Folder, you don't really need one. It says members only. Password, you don't need one. New. Oh, this is new. Disabled. Enabled. Oh, it's going to be automatically disabled. Burn after read. No. So you just want to leave this stuff alone. Basically, it's already going to be set to this. And then you want to name your paste name and title. This is literally the only thing you do. You name it rules. I like to put mine as the rules. That's what I made it. And then just create a new paste. Let's the rules, create new paste. Oh, okay, hold up. Here, let's just write that. The rules, create new paste. Alright, so then it's going to pop up as this. Then a new thing will pop up on your URL, or, you know, this thing, this little bar up here. It's going to be this little weird random stuff. You know, just letters and numbers. You want to copy that? You just go ahead and get out of that. And just paste that there. Simple as that. You just made your rules. Congratulations. Your server IP. This is going to be your public IP address. Alright? How you get that? Well, hold up. So it's going to be set to auto. It's going to be like this. It's going to say auto. Right? So you can set your IP address or keep it at auto. I recommend you set your IP address that way so you don't have to just constantly look for it, and you can just come in here and, you know, have it there. So how you get your IP address is very simple. You go to your web browser. You type in, just like in the URL page or in this, my IP. That's it. It's going to be this number. Just want to copy that. And put it there. Boom. Max players. I set mine to 30. Yours is probably going to be 20 or something. So, yep. This is not counting. This does not count as modifications. This is a. How do I say this? This is making your server like the way you want to, basically. But it's not modifications. No, it's just customization. False. You don't need to mess with any of this. You don't even need to mess with your IPv4 bind or anything. You don't need to mess with this. It's going to be set to these double dot things. You don't really need to mess with this. You don't need to type 0.0.0.0 or any of this. You can, but you don't. Put your contact email in. Just put your normal email in. This can be important. So I put mine. This is my email. Message me if you want. I don't really care. Just don't do it a lot because I'll probably get annoyed and I have stuff to do. So, yeah, just put your normal email there. Doesn't really matter. And then you can look through this and customize it the way you want to. You know, there's a lot to work with. Alright, so then whenever you have all that set, get out of it. Press save. Hold up, we can get out of Google. Then in your same, you know, this file thing, it's going to be the one right below config gameplay. It's going to be config remote admin. You want to double click on that. And you want to get your Steam ID number. How you get that is very simple. So you open up your Steam. You know, just your average Steam. What is this? Okay, so yeah, you open up your Steam. You sign into your account. You press this little account thing right here. You just press the little arrow. And you go to account details. And it's going to be this number right here. So you just want to copy that. And paste it right there. Very simple. So yeah, you can just here, I'll just delete it real quick. There, and that's all you need. You want to put it as owner of the server. Make sure it's owner that you're putting it in. And then just press the X, press save. Okay. Now that you have all that done, that's basically it. So you can just close out your files. Just close out all your files here. And now you want to port forward your server. How you port forward can be different depending on your router, depending on what you use for your router or modem. So I'm gonna go ahead and use mine real quick. Okay, let's see here. So how you get your to port forward, you need to get your default gateway. How you do that is you go to your Windows hotbar thing here. You type in CMD. It's going to pop up this command prompt. You want to press open. And you want to type in ipconfig. Press enter. And it's going to pop up all of this here. Then it's going to pop up all your networks that you're connected to. This is mine right here, yeah. And this is the default gateway. So I'd copy this. You can go ahead and get out of that. Go to your web browser, paste it right in the URL thing, just like that. Press enter. And it should pop up something like this. It's going to ask you to log in. And then you press log in. Once you're all logged in, you want to go to where it'll say like advanced or something, and it's gonna say port forward. So you just gotta look around your modem or router settings here. Mine's in basic settings apparently, which is weird. And you want to go to port forwarding. Okay, so we're gonna add a rule. And you want to go to services. You want to type in, you want to go down to, never mind, just keep your services where it is, common applications. You can call your application name whatever you want. You could just call it your port, doesn't really matter. Here, let's just name it SCP SL server. Just like that. You want to set your protocol to TCP. It's very important that you do that. This is where you put your port. Mine's 3589. You'll put yours to 7777. Private port range. You just put your port again. And then it might have an in port, it might not. Then you just want to put any like random number you want. This is how you end the port. So I'd put my 9853. Port range overlap. Okay. Just make it, I don't know, 9999. Like this, 9999. Okay. Then you want to put your local IP address. This is not the same IP address that you will see here. So if you type in my IP address, my IP, this is not going to be the IP address that you put in. So how you do that is you go to your Windows thing again. You type in the command prompt. Go to it. Type in ipconfig. Press enter. And this is going to be your IPv4 address here. You want to take that number. So yeah, you want to take that number and put that number there. And then just press remote admin IP address specific. Oh, remote IP address. You just put it as any rule status is on. But since this isn't my real port, port forwarding thing, I'm gonna, not make this at all. So then you just want to press apply or press OK. Here, let's just put that there. Jeez, what is wrong with this thing? So anyways, once you fill out all this information, you'll be able to press OK, like I have here. Ooh. Yeah. So, yeah. And then it might have something called port triggering. I'll enable that. It's very easy how you do this. Port triggering is much more simple. The application name, again, you just, port triggering rules, doesn't really matter. So then you just type in, your port, the other port, this, and this, or whatever you want. Protocol, TPC, timeouts, I don't really know what this means. And then you can press OK. So then once that's there, you got that. And then you want to press enable, and save changes to both of these things. I'm still pretty new to port forwarding, so let me know if I have any of this wrong. And that's basically it. So then you just exit out here. And then let me make sure that this is all correct. I'm just following this little guideline thing. There's one and then what you want to do is go back to your server file, go to new, or whatever you called whatever file you put your server in. You want to go to local admin, type in 7777 as your default port, or whatever your port number is. Mine's 3589. Wait for it to say waiting for players at the very bottom. It says waiting for players. Minimize it. Don't get out of it. Minimize it. Get out of your file thing. Go to your go to your web browser. Sign into your same email that you put into your contact email right here. Hold up, let me get it for you. Let me just get it for you real quick. The same email that you put in your contact email right here. Get that email. Copy it. And just sign into that. Sign into that email. Once you're signed in, go to the left side of the screen, press compose. It's going to have this little weird rainbow plus next to it. Type in this email address, server.verification. This email will be in the link into the description. Right here, this is going to be the email that you put in. I've already emailed them several times. And you want to put this in. You want to put your public IP address in. Again, just go to my IP address. Put this number in. Go ahead. Just put that there. Here, I'll just put it for you so you have an example. Type in the port of your server. Your default port will be 7777. Mine is 3589, so I'll type in 3589. And then you want to tell if your IP address is static or dynamic. If you're running this on your home computer, like if it's not like a work if you're running this on a local IP on your, how do I say this? If you're running this in your home and it's like, how do I say this? It's pretty weird on how to describe what a dynamic thing is, but most home addresses are dynamic. So if you're like doing this at your house, you know, at the house you live in constantly, then you just put dynamic. If it's not, and if it's not, then you put static. You know, you just put static. They'll know what you mean even if you misspell it. So then you just press send. A few seconds later, you get this. You get this email. This is an automatic message. Do not reply. Your verification request has been received and usually will be processed usually within 72 hours. Or, 3 days, because that's what 72 hours is. Please do not send multiple verification requests for the same server. King of regards. This means don't spam them until, just don't spam requests until they send you something back. If you got something wrong in your server, they'll send you something like this. Hello. Unfortunately, we are unable to verify your server at this time. It could be due to one or more of the following reasons. And then it'll list the reasons that could be wrong with your server. If you have any questions, join their Discord server. The server link does not run out at any point in time. So you got to fix those problems that they say. Just make sure they're all correct. If you know they're not the problem, then work on the ones that might be. Then if you're sure that it's all fixed and everything, you can send them one back. And they'll send you something like this. Dear SCP server owner, we are pleased to inform you that your server has been verified and its IP address is listed as static. They did this on accident. My IP address is dynamic, but the guy accidentally put it for static, which I'm not blaming them. They can get this wrong sometimes. Make sure you read this out. It's very important. Please notify us if this is wrong. This is why they say that, because sometimes they can do that wrong. They're usually used to static IP addresses. A link will be generated in your server console within a few minutes. This is your server console. Make sure you have this on until they send you this email back. So a link will be generated in your console within a few minutes. Click on it. Click it. First of all, you don't click it. You copy it. For some reason, it won't let you click it. And read the terms and rules and everything, and verification requests. They're just gonna ask you, so then you just take this little link, you put it into your hotbar thing, scratch out all the boxes, and then just press OK to make sure it's verified. It's gonna be that simple. A file called verkey.txt. It's just now verkey. This txt thing stands for text. It's going to be a verkey text file. Will also be generated in your config folder. You may want to back it up. You might want to make a backup of it. That just means copy it and just make another one. If you lose it due to server reinstallation or other reasons, you have to send us a verification request. Note that your verkey will be invalid to your server's static IP address. Static IP address is changed to dynamic IP address is unaffected. Thank you for supporting SCP Secret Laboratory. And enjoy. I will not be covering mods in this video. If you want to learn how to, I said at the beginning of the video, how to update your server, instead of just typing normal app update 996560, you would put validate right after that. So space validate after 996560. And then all you have to do now is that you won't have to open the local port every single time, so you don't have to open up your file and then press local admin or multi-admin every single time, so you don't have to do that. That's what this dedicated server thing is for. So you just type in SCP dedicated server, so you can also open up from here. It'll literally look the same. and then you just do all that stuff. And every time you want your server on, all you have to do is launch it, type in your port number, and wait for it to say waiting for players. And then now, you have your server. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions about your server, any specific topics you would like me to cover, please comment below. And yeah, like I said, thank you so much for watching.